Hello everyone, Kamo here to show you a really cool game called Banished. Now, I want to give you guys a heads up on this game. This is not a huge war game. This is not a crazy PvP game. This is a builder game. That's what you do. Your goal is to build a town that is able to sustain itself. So, this game really spoke out to me because I enjoy... I don't know, I guess you could call this a sim, kinda. It's not really like The Sims where you control their lives and they all, they go to work and all that kind of stuff. This is a sim more in the sense that you build your own town, you make it prosper, you're in complete control over what happens. So as you can see, at least in the atmosphere that I'm in currently, I have it set so that I have a medium start. Now it's actually been a little bit since I've played this game, but I remember most of the basics. And it is for some reason winter already. Crap. Okay. I couldn't remember how to rotate the buildings. So basically, like I said, you're trying to build a town and you want it to prosper. So I'm trying to get... You want to start out with some homes because you start out with a storage area. That's what this is, a storage barn, and then kind of like a stockpile. The storage is where all the food goes, and the tools, and all that kind of stuff. And then the stockpile is where like your firewood, your iron, your logs, stone, more like building materials go. And then what you have to do is you have to allocate your people to do the various jobs. Now you start out with a whole bunch of laborers. That's what the majority of your people will be, is laborers, because the laborers go around, they cut down trees, they cut down, well, not cut down, but mine stone, iron, all that kind of stuff. So, I've set some builders now. Now, you'll see there's a number on the left and there's a number on the right. The number on the right tells you how many you need to maintain maximum efficiency. Number on the left is how many you have assigned. Now, you'll see that I didn't assign all of them. I don't need everyone to be building right now. I need a bunch of laborers. Because what I'm going to be doing next is setting a deforest right through here, and they're also going to grab a bunch of stone for me. Now, in a second, you're going to see my laborers start getting to work. Let's go ahead and speed this up just a little bit so that you can actually see the people moving around. So now, that's my laborers getting to work. They're the ones that are cutting down those trees and grabbing stone for me. And I've built a road through here. There's a couple of homes. Let me see what else I can get going. I don't need a well. Now, in the beginning, you obviously need to get homes for your people because as time goes on, they're going to need a place to stay, especially when winter comes. When winter comes, obviously the temperature goes down and they will go home to heat up unless they have the clothes to sustain themselves out in the cold for a longer period of time. So let's see. Now another thing that I'm going to need is I'm going to need to make sure that they have a food income, because right now these people aren't really doing anything for me. To be completely honest, they're not really doing anything for me. They're just kind of around. So what I need to do is I need to make a hunting cabin. And what the hunting cabin does is it'll be just a bunch of hunters, and they'll go hunting in the area within that green zone. Now, I know there's going to be some open area over here and some mountain over here, but that's okay, because the area they're covering is going to be more than enough. And then I'll also get... oh, where is it? It's been a little bit since I've played. A forester lodge. Now, what the forester's going to do is he is going to be... I can't see the scaffolding or the building plot. What the forester does is he is going to be cutting down trees and replanting them. So it'll be basically a slow source of wood. Rather than me manually telling people to go cut everything down, it's an automated source of wood. Let's see. So that's going to be basically the start of it. And there's so much to this game. And it's actually... I don't want to say it's hyper realistic, but it's pretty darn realistic. You'll lose crops. There's natural disasters, especially depending if you make the game harder. If you kick up the difficulty, the game will be even harder, and there will be more natural disasters. There will be plagues, droughts, all kind of stuff. So let's see. So those guys, like I said, the laborers are going to go over there and cut things down, and the builders are just going to make sure that the immediate area is clear, so they'll help the laborers do that. But once the plot's clear, they're going to be the ones in charge of making sure that things get built. So I've got 4 homes. Now, there's also one other thing. Shows... No, that's an overhead map. I don't need that. I don't need that. There we go. Apparently I named my town Stickney. So this shows you everything that you have, and it'll keep a real-time update of all your stats. You got your food, firewood, and logs, and stone. Those are the 3 main stats that you'll keep an eye on. Now this obviously is their health, and this is their happiness. If you don't keep their diet varied, their health will go down. If you don't provide them with the means to keep themselves happy, like, you know, a tavern, somewhere you can go drinking. Just, I mean, that keeps me happy. So their happiness is also important. They're also going to need tools and all that kind of stuff. So the next thing that I want to do, because I want to be prepared for winter, is I want to get them a woodcutter. And what he does is he creates firewood. That is his job. Let me go ahead and get some roads over to that guy. I can't see my scaffolds over here. Oh, there we go. There's one. I'll go ahead and build a road all the way over to him. And then people are just gonna, I guess, go stomping this land until it turns into a road. Okay. Now, a fishing dock is also a very good idea, but maybe not so much for me this time because I don't have the water as close to me as I usually like. But I'll get one started just in case. Like I said, you're gonna need a lot of different sources of food because they want a varied diet, and a varied diet is obviously good for us as people. Believe it or not, energy drinks and cereal is not a staple diet. Okay, so we've got actually a lot of building jobs going, and that's why you're seeing this number go up, because that is what will keep them working at maximum efficiency. And then as time goes on, as they complete jobs, you will just drop the amount of people working that. So then you can also control them manually. Actually, I'll show it to you once this is done, but since we're looking at this, you can see that there's the build progress. You can see what it needs. That's where they'll remove, you know, rocks and what the trees. Good lord, I couldn't think of the word trees. And then you see the materials they're going to need: log, stone, and build time. Obviously, it's going to take time to build once they have all their materials. So we got my other projects going over here. My hunting cabin is done. And now I can send people over to it. Now you can send them to it by clicking on the individual buildings, or you can control it over here. Now I want to make sure that I'm sending a good amount of people to this because I need food. I really need food. And then I also want to make sure... So as you see, the building requirements drop. So I'm going to take a few people off of it. Get some more laborers so that things are kind of moving. Like I said, laborers, that's all they do. Labor, manual labor. They cut things down, they move things around, they do the things that specialized people don't. But they won't do the things that specialized people do. Does that make sense? Like, they won't go cutting wood because there's no one cutting wood. You have to tell them to do it. But they'll do pretty much all like the manual labor. Okay, now in each of the things, in each of the areas, you can tell them to stop doing whatever it is that this is capable of doing. So here, their only job is to go gather food in the nearby forest. Here, like I said before, their job is to not only cut trees down, but also to replant them. So you can disable one or the other, and you can do that manually. Now the question mark, there's various symbols in the game, and you guys will get used to those if you decide to play the game. I'm just giving this kind of like as a high-level overview so that you guys know what the interface is like, how the gameplay is, and what the objectives are. So, for this one, I'm going to start needing some firewood soon. As you saw, I did it manually rather than through here. And looking at our stats here, we're getting a little low on wood. We're doing pretty good on food. It's probably going to start dropping a little bit here soon. But the wood is my main concern, so I'm going to go ahead and set a deforest area right through here, and they're going to cut that down. Now with most any town, you obviously need open area to build your structure, so it's usually good to deforest the area around you, and then as time goes on, build a foresting cabin, and they'll replant the trees amongst your town, and it actually makes it look really cool. Now some of you might be asking yourselves, well, what is the goal of this game? The goal of this game is really no different than any SimCity game. It's just to build a town, to make it look pretty. I mean, that's one of my goals. I like to make my towns look cool. I like to make them look realistic, kind of like the way an actual town would be realistically set up. So you kind of got like your own residential section, and then you got some commercial stuff going on over here, but it all has to make sense too. You wouldn't put a hunting cabin in the middle of an open area. Now, am I saying that animals don't wander into open areas? I mean, deers are in open areas all the time. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that it makes the most sense to have them in the trees, because let's be realistic, that's where most animals are. And then obviously the forester lodge, you can put those in open areas, but it'll be a little bit of a startup period because they have to plant the trees first. So realistically, to begin with, you want to put them in a forest as well. And then there's all kinds of other things in this game. I mean, there's tailors, there's blacksmiths, they make your tools, there's the tavern, mine. You actually build a mine into the side of a mountain. Obviously just an opening so they can get the materials that are in that mine. A quarry so they can get stone. There is so much to this game. I love this game. I'm a big builder. I love building things. I love making towns. I'm not a big like Sims fan, but I am more of a SimCity fan. I like SimCity. So I highly recommend this game. You can find it on Steam. It's a nice relaxing game if you're just in the mood to build a town and protect it and make sure that nothing happens and, you know, make sure that your people are taken care of. Alright guys, so I think I'm going to go ahead and cut this, let's check out Banished. If you guys enjoyed this, please definitely let me know. If you have any games on Steam that you've noticed and you want to see some gameplay of or want to see a review, let me know and I will be more than happy to check it out for you guys. Alrighty, so that's going to go ahead and do it. In the meantime, you guys all take care.